people have probably heard of Windows 2000, but many people don't like Windows 2000 for clear reasons too. Windows 2000 was pretty crazy, and I really don't know why this computer is just randomly just doing this, but I hope I'll find out. But as you can see, this computer, specifically ProBook 4415S, you can go look it up if you want, is a mid-2006 computer that ran Windows Vista, and if you're interested in the specs, has 1 gigabyte of RAM and an AMD Titan dual core 2. So it is definitely pretty old. But why would you want to run 2000? And let me answer that. This computer originally was given to me by someone I know who actually used this computer for their company. Back in the day, obviously. This computer actually has the Windows key which seemed to be the Windows Vista key, ripped off. So I kind of hate that I can't show you that, but the rest of the computer is pretty in good condition. It has been opened up to increase the RAM limit. Actually, this computer used to have 512 megs of DDR2, and then someone put a gigabyte. So yeah, so it also supports a DVD drive, and we're going to be installing Windows XP. And this computer is actually 64-bit architecture, so we can actually install Windows XP 64-bit, upgrading this computer from Windows 2000 to Windows XP. This computer also has a 300 gigabyte hard drive, but of course, we only use 10 gigabytes of it because it took too long to format it on the Windows 2000 setup. So once we get to the Windows XP setup, we're going to change this hard drive to 30 gigabytes because that's more consistent for this computer. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and get my Windows XP DVD, or CD in this case, because Windows XP ISO was only 700 megabytes. And let's get going. All right, guys, we have gotten our Windows XP 64-bit Windows disk. Now, I obviously need a CD key because I didn't get the special edition where you can just burn it without a CD key. But yeah, so we're just gonna put it into the computer and let it go. Now, you do not need any CD drivers for this. Windows 2000 by default gets them, but if you're going to do a USB drive or anything like that, 2000 will not recognize it, so you're going to need to install some sort of driver, I guess. So, Windows Vista, and which this computer shipped with, obviously could do that. And go ahead and shut down Windows. We're going to shut Windows down. Now, if you're asking why there isn't any sound, this computer actually did not have sound drivers for Windows 2000 of all that. So now we're going to turn the computer on and use the boot options. It could be F9, F8, it doesn't really matter. Just find it online. You can usually find it online. So I just clicked F9 for boot device options. It will take a while to kind of identify the DVD or CD. Now this version of Windows is 64-bit, as I said before, because that's what it supports. So if you hear any sort of buzzing or anything, that's just identifying it. Now you're going to see a few options. Optical disk drive, notebook hard drive, and notebook Ethernet, which is an option. You're going to go ahead and click on Enter on the optical disk drive. And click spacebar to boot from the CD, or click any other key, it doesn't really matter. And it will go to Windows Setup. So now you should see this text down here. Don't click F6, don't click F2. It's just something that you'd get if you get an error. Now, again, I'm going to say this because it happens to people a lot. If by any case you're using this video just to install Windows XP, I want you to know that you're not going to be able to do this if you're on Windows Vista 7 and above. Because by default, Windows Vista and above has a SATA mode called AHCI. But Windows XP and below do not. They have a setting called IDE SATA device. So, if you try running the setup like I'm running it right now, you're going to get an error after this is finished and it's trying to start the setup. Specifically a blue screen of death. And it should say, oh, something about your hard drive. Now, there's an easy fix to this. All you're going to do is go into your BIOS. Usually, for this computer, it's F10. For your computer, it might be something else. You can look it up online, Google it. So, once you get into your BIOS, you're going to click on usually system. You're going to have to look at a video because all computers are different. For this one, it's device configurations. And inside there, I've changed the SATA device mode to IDE. But if your SATA device mode is already IDE and you're still getting the error, try wiping your hard drive, because that sometimes fixes it too. Okay? Alright. So, since we're updating Windows 2000 to Windows XP in this video, this process is going to take a long time, so I'm going to be right back with you guys once this process is finished. If you're using a USB drive and for any chance it does work, then this process is going to take like 1 second because it's just going to go through everything. But since I have a CD, it takes a lot longer. So I'll be right back with you guys once this process is finished and we're ready to run the Windows XP Pro setup. Okay guys, the setup was successfully here. I got no IDE or something like that, errors. So it says Windows XP Professional Setup. Welcome to Setup. You're going to click on Enter. It's going to say please wait. It's going to check your hard drive. Now you should see your edition of Windows. This is Microsoft Windows XP Pro x64 edition. If yours is a 32-bit or something like that, it should say Microsoft Windows, whatever you got. So now it should give you a few options. Click on F8. It's going to search for previous versions of Microsoft Windows, and that will let us to upgrade. So right here is our Windows 2000. Now obviously, if you want to upgrade, you're just going to click Enter right then and there. And for the purpose of this video, I'm going to click Enter, and then we're going to click C. But let's say you didn't want to do that. You're going to click on D, and then Enter, and then L. But that'll wipe your whole hard drive, meaning this isn't an upgrade, it's basically a custom install. For the purpose of this video, it says to upgrade. If you're not going to upgrade, you're going to just wipe your whole hard drive, you're going to do that. If you're going to upgrade, just click on Enter and C. And then there's going to be a ton of options. Just click on Leave the current file system intact, no changes, right then and there. To change options, you can just go up and down, but these 4 options here will delete your hard drive, but the last one will not. The last one saying leave the current file system intact will not. So just click on that and select Enter, and you've successfully upgraded and chose to upgrade Windows XP. If you haven't, then it'll wipe it and then start copying some files over. It takes an extremely long time on my computer. If yours goes all well, this process, if you have a USB flash drive, just take like 1 second. Not 1 second, but like a little bit shorter than this. But I'm going to be back with you guys once again when this process has finished and we're on our next step of the installation. Until then, sit back and relax and wait for your installation. Don't touch your computer. If you do, you can break your hard drive, meaning make it corrupt and other stuff, and we don't want to deal with that, so just leave it alone. Alright guys, so once your setup has finished, you should be on the screen. I'm sorry my camera can't zoom for once. See if I can get this guy to work. There we go. So, once you have finished your setup, it should be on this screen. Now, from where we were installing, copying the files, don't touch your computer once. It'll restart itself, and you should be on this. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on Next, type your name. I'm just going to type XP. Now, obviously, I've said this was an upgrade, but because it's asking us this, don't be worried. It's just telling you that. Next is your product key. Alright everyone, so we just inputted our product key. You can look at it and take it if you want. This used to be my product key back in the day. We're going to click on Next, and here we are on our next setup. We're just going to type an administrator password. I'm just going to type in my password, which I always use, but for this tutorial I'm just going to put 1234 because, actually I'm not going to put anything, who cares. And click Next, and then I'm going to put my time. Pacific time is my time zone. Next, and there it is. It's continuing the process, and I'll be right back with you guys once this process finishes. Alright guys, the process is finally finished, and we're here on the Windows XP start screen, and we should have all the drivers and everything if you updated your computer. And we do have all the drivers already, and all of our files from back then are all on the disk. And our disk is still the same. We can go into local disk, show the contents of the folder, and see our old files. As you can see, this is from Windows 2000. if you take a look back, these are all my files from Windows 2000, and we successfully upgraded to Windows XP. So you'll see that when you first enter, you're not going to see any of your files. They're going to be all hidden. All you have to do is select local disk, and you'll see some things. You're going to select Documents and Settings, select your user, select Desktop or wherever you kept your files, and they'll all be there. And you have everything basically, so now you can go ahead and do your thing, install your drivers, do whatever you have to do. So we can go ahead and install all those drivers and plug in my computer. Alright, go ahead and install everything, and that's basically it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more videos like this that are interesting. Peace out, everybody. Until next time.